Welcome back. What you can see is a Reddit screen. So, a bit of context. I've just set up my um, Reddit account today for the YouTube, and going through the subreddits of Destiny 2 and Destiny the game. This was one of the first posts that actually just cropped up at the front screen. It's a post by an individual called Solosky. What they've done is they've not released, they've created 3 new perks for Destiny 2 at the current time. And these are the sort of videos and conversations that I just genuinely want to talk about, because this is exactly what I love to see come from the community, come from individuals thinking outside the box in a way, creating new ideas for the game, and trying to move it a little bit forward, making it a little bit more alive and exactly where we want to be, make it more of a live service. I do genuinely wish Bungie sort of allowed us to provide ideas as such, or even had a more of a poll system or a questionnaire that basically said, we've had these ideas submitted, or we've created these ideas. What do you believe, or what would you like to see more of? And as a Destiny 3, I think that's the direction, one of the directions they need to go. So an extra pull for one of my videos, I'm just going to shove the little link at the bottom over here if you really want to click it and learn a bit more about that. But it's exactly the sort of stuff I would like to see in the sequel of this game. So let's break them down, and I love all 3 ideas here. One of them is a clear favourite of mine that I'm going to talk last, even though it's got more flaws than the other 2. But the synergy between the subclasses and what they actually do is my brain, funnily enough. There's 2 of these ideas that sort of take inspiration and into the exotics and perks that I'm creating for some of my videos in the future, funnily enough. So I may need to slightly tweak one of them, because this middle one right here is practically identical in a way, in design, for what it actually does. Not similar to me, but we'll get into that later. We're going to start with Snowfall. Lovely name, lovely design. Actually, before I go and continue forward, so let me show you this. This is something, and as I mentioned to you before, I'm going to hide a few things at the top over here. As I mentioned to you before, I'm creating my own perks and exotics too, and this is the sort of artwork I'm going for. And if you see mine's a little bit more detailed than that individual. But when you compare the 2, especially, this individual has actually hit Destiny 2's artwork much more better than mine. Not for the colours and the scheme, but for more how simple it actually looks and actually is. Because if you go back over to here, I'm not going to tell you how this perk works yet. You can see that in a later video. You've got a lot of depth and detail within it, but it still gives the exact vibe to it. So let's go back to this individual. Snowfall freezes blows, final blows produce stasis snowballs that freeze combatants when thrown. Enhancement improves perk damage. Simple, effective, and it's one of them perks that you will love to see all year round. You only really see snowballs during the the event of the Dawning. And the Dawning only lasts a couple of weeks. I believe it was three weeks this year, and 3 weeks previously, or 2 weeks previously. And having this sort of perk all year round is interesting, because think of Crucible at the moment, and we had that one game mode currently where we were throwing snowballs at each other. It's exactly this, but everywhere within the sandbox. And having snowballs on demand will actually be very, very overpowered, and you'll need to balance this quite carefully to ensure that you're not able to throw snowball, rinse, repeat, throw snowball. Because if I throw snowball, it kills the enemy, then 2 or 3 of the enemies around in the PvE sandbox are slowed because of the snowball. Then when I kill them with the weapon, it just produces another one, and that is where that Dawning effect comes in, where the snowballs just naturally produce. But if we're just going off verbatim what this individual's saying, and it's freeze combatants when thrown, you might be able to avoid it there. And improves perk damage. It's pretty good, that, if it's an advanced. So good work with that one. I'm skipping the middle one because that is my favourite. And then the next one is Her Trigger. While amplified or after sprinting for a short time, this weapon gains further increased fire rate. Enhancement improves stat benefit. I love the artwork on this. I'm debating if it is actually a her or an eel. I'm going for eel. just because you would see this more in the arc subclass, so the electricity, the speed, the momentum type of subclass that you've got there. And this individual has nailed that on the head, especially. What that subclass is actually born to be and born to do, this perk does that. Think of it two ways. Damage rotations in PvE. Think of Cascade Point, I believe it is. It's practically that, but more on demand. So you've got your warlocks with getaway artists that can do that if they've got a grenade available, and your hunters with ascension, they can just do it every 10 seconds, no matter how quick your class ability comes back. Now reverse that and go into PvP with the exact same thoughts with the warlocks and the hunters. It'll be an absolute menace. So you'll need to think of a way to balance it in that sort of aspect. But this sort of thinking and advancement is fantastic. So good work with these two. And then the middle one. This is the middle one where when just before I hit record, I was picking out more flaws compared to the other two, but it's still my favourite. The name, hands down, is just spot on. Molten Stone. You would see that in a lot of medieval type themed games, other than Destiny, but it's just perfect for that hive vibe as well, because that's where you usually see the pools of fire. They lob a grenade, especially if you're playing Ultimate or Contest sort of mode. Your big toe touches that pool of fire and you fall over. Now we can do that to the enemies. But the good part about this perk is Precision Final Blows create scorching pools of fire. Precision Final Blows. It's not an on-demand thing. You do need to put a tad bit of work into it. And the enhancement improves perk duration. And this is where I believe the perk falls down the most. And I would say it's the difficulty scaling within Destiny. Because, as we all know, anybody that does play this game, it's more bullet spongy. More enemies just take more incoming fire before they fall over. And this is the problem with the pools of fire aspect. If I put all that effort into shooting a red bar on ultimate difficulty, solo, whatever I'm doing, and they create the pool of fire because now they can be scorched, the bigger enemies are just going to wander out that pool near enough immediately. I understand what they're saying about the perk duration, but the issue about that, the pool stays there itself. It's not like a on-demand sunspot sort of aspect where once you get that precision final blow, it creates a sunspot instead. And this is where, funnily enough, the exotic that I was created is sort of blending into this, and this is where I've sort of implemented it. So if this individual is managing to see this video and seeing these perks on here, well done. You've done an absolute grand job. If you can hear the cats again, I do apologise. But I just need a slight tweak in that middle one, but it's the most simple but the most creative, because you've now made solar a little bit, well, you've expanded it a little bit more. Think of Strand, where you've got the strand balls and the thread links and hatchlings. You've got stasis, you've got the shards and whatnot within the stasis, because you've got the stasis crystals, shards, turrets if you're classing warlocks and stuff, and you could put all the buddies in that if you really wanted to. But solar is an individual aspect within Titan and Hunter. If you're taking it away from Helion, you've created another aspect of the sandbox that's alive now. That's why that perk is better than the other two. Snowballs are already here. Amplified is already existing. Pools of fire from us, the Guardian, does not exist yet. So great work, great post, and I'll do more of these if I ever see more. I did see one, funny enough, under the same guy's name, because this title is some more legendary weapon perks, so I think he had one a bit earlier, a few days before, that I might do a video or go and have a look at in the future. Great work. I love to see this, and I love to see this in sequels of games too. So that's all from me. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have ideas such as this individual, post them on Reddit, send them to myself, get them in the comments. We could just have a general discussion about them. What works, what people like, what people would like to see, what sort of things that we can change to make it even better. That's the conversation, and that's the point. So everyone, enjoy your morning, enjoy your afternoons, enjoy your evenings. If you haven't done also already, like, subscribe, the usual stuff on YouTube. I am a new channel, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.